Some games are so memorable, so well crafted, that they quietly stick with you long after you finish them. And while the gaming world is always racing toward the next big release, there's something special about going back. In this video, we're revisiting 15 incredible single-player games that are absolutely worth your time in 2025, so let's jump into it. Uncharted 4 remains one of the most polished and emotionally satisfying action-adventure games of the last decade. Returning to it in 2025 is a reminder of how far cinematic storytelling in games has come. The dynamic between Nathan and Sam Drake adds depth to a character who, up to that point, had mostly been about charming banter and treasure hunting. The Madagascar sequence still stuns visually, and the grappling hook mechanics feel smooth even now. What makes the replay even more worthwhile is seeing the more mature, quieter side of Drake's journey. The pacing is excellent, the puzzles are satisfying, and the mix of stealth and shootouts keeps gameplay from feeling repetitive. Plus, the smaller, more grounded emotional beats, like exploring Nate's attic full of mementos, resonate in ways you might not have noticed during your first playthrough. It's not just about action anymore, it's about legacy.
How we doing back there? Not good! Not good at all! Keep shooting! I am! I hate this truck! Hang on, Nathan! Right up on us! Going as fast as I can! This better be close!
Revisiting The Witcher 3 in 2025 is like opening a well-worn book and realizing you've forgotten just how good every page was. With the next-gen update giving it new life visually, Geralt's journey across the continent feels more immersive than ever. The world is rich with folklore, memorable side quests, and morally gray choices that rarely boil down to right or wrong. The Bloody Baron questline still hits like a truck, and exploring Skellige in a storm remains a visual and atmospheric highlight. What's incredible is how the game doesn't treat side content like filler. Even the smallest quests often come with real stakes, unique characters, and clever writing. Playing through again with different dialogue options or focusing on alternate endings makes it feel new. With a potential Witcher 4 on the horizon, now is the perfect time to get lost in this dark, beautiful world once more.
Naughty, naughty girl! No blood. Punished. No blood. Geralt, Geralt, you'll not leave with it. You'll regret that. You will die here now. You die tonight.
Prince of Persia 2008 is one of those games that felt ahead of its time in some ways and underappreciated in others. Its striking art style, fluid platforming, and minimalist UI make it feel fresh even in 2025. The relationship between the prince and Alika is the emotional heart of the game, and the dialogue during traversal adds a layer of connection that most action platformers lack. Some people were turned off by the fact you can't die in the traditional sense, but revisiting it now, that mechanic feels more like a graceful way to keep the game's momentum going. The combat is rhythmic and personal, often one-on-one duels that focus more on timing than chaos. While it doesn't have a massive open world or complex leveling systems, it offers something else: a simple, elegant, and emotionally resonant experience. It's a reminder that beauty and storytelling can thrive in minimalist design.
This is the end of your road, not ours.
I can't reach it!
When God of War 2018 first launched, it reinvented a character known for raw rage and turned him into a surprisingly nuanced father. Revisiting the game now, after seeing where Kratos and Atreus' story goes in Ragnarok, makes the original reboot even more impactful. The Leviathan axe remains one of the most satisfying weapons in gaming, and combat strikes a perfect balance between challenge and fluidity. But what really makes replaying it special is the quieter moments, watching Kratos struggle to express care, learning to trust his son, and navigating a world that's constantly testing them. The Norse mythology adds depth without overwhelming the story, and the world design encourages exploration without ever feeling bloated. Every side quest feels purposeful, and the optional Valkyrie battles still offer some of the best boss fights in the genre. It's a game that rewards both new players and returning fans.
Boy.
Think I'm afraid of you! You're nothing to me!
Boy,
Nothing!
look at me! Look at me, boy! Boy, look at me.
We did it.
Origins marked a turning point for the Assassin's Creed franchise, and it still holds up incredibly well. Set in ancient Egypt, the game transports you to a world that feels both vibrant and decaying, cities bustling with life, while deserts and ruins echo with forgotten stories. Bayek is one of the most grounded protagonists in the series, driven by love, grief, and a desire for justice. His personal journey is as compelling as the rise of the Assassin Brotherhood itself. The shift to more RPG-style combat and gear progression works surprisingly well and makes encounters more engaging. Exploring pyramids, taking part in arena fights, or simply watching a sandstorm roll in across the dunes feels more immersive now, especially with modern hardware enhancing the visuals. Replaying Origins isn't just about the gameplay, it's about rediscovering a world built with love and care, one that still feels alive years later.
Out of the way! Shit! The Arcondas is down!
Why have you dragged me into the land of the dead?
You sought to kill my wife!
Your whore of a wife is a murderess.
Arkham Knight often gets remembered for the Batmobile controversies, but revisiting it in 2025 proves it's far more than just a vehicle-focused sequel. This is the most expansive and visually detailed version of Gotham we've ever had, and flying over the rain-soaked city still feels exhilarating. The story wraps up the trilogy with a dark psychological edge that digs into Bruce Wayne's crumbling mental state. Combat is as slick and responsive as ever, with new gadgets and fear takedowns adding variety. But it's the villains that steal the show. Scarecrow's looming threat, the inner struggle with the Joker, and the presence of the mysterious Arkham Knight all contribute to a gripping narrative. The game isn't afraid to get strange and surreal, especially in its hallucination sequences. Returning to it now, with expectations tempered, you'll find a layered and ambitious game that feels like a true farewell to the Dark Knight. A Plague Tale: Innocence is a rare kind of game, quiet, emotionally raw, and deeply immersive without relying on spectacle. In 2025, it still holds its own with its grounded storytelling and striking visuals. The bond between Amicia and Hugo is the soul of the experience, and watching them navigate a collapsing, plague-ridden France never loses its tension. The use of light and shadow in gameplay is clever, with the rat swarm mechanics creating unique and unsettling puzzles. Unlike many stealth games, it emphasizes vulnerability and resourcefulness over power. Every section feels like a desperate struggle for survival, and the musical score adds a haunting, almost lyrical quality to the experience. Coming back to it after finishing Requiem adds even more weight to Amicia's journey, making a second playthrough feel like an emotional loop closing. It's a slow burn that stays with you well after the credits.
As long as you have the torch, you'll be safe.
But what about you?
We'll move together. That way, the light coming through the grating will protect me too. Ready?
Ready?
Here we go then. Slowly. Very good.
Look, there's a hole. Do you want the torch?
Yes, there are too many rats on my side.
But where can I get through?
The hole behind you. That's the only way I can see. Go through there and I'll meet you on the other side.
Are you sure?
Just stop it.
Far Cry Primal often gets overlooked in favor of its more explosive siblings, but revisiting it in 2025 reveals a game that took real risks and succeeded in carving out its own space. Set in the Stone Age, it ditches guns for spears and bows, trading loud chaos for intimate, up-close combat. The world of Oros is breathtaking, with dense forests, snowy mountains, and fiery volcanic lands all teeming with wildlife. It's immersive in a way most open-world games aren't, thanks to its commitment to a pre-modern setting. The made-up primitive languages, complete with subtitles, add authenticity, while the beast-taming mechanics make exploration more dynamic and strategic. Building up your village, unlocking new skills, and hunting mammoths or saber-toothed tigers feels purposeful. If you're tired of modern settings and repetitive formulas, Primal is a refreshingly different take on survival and tribal warfare that deserves a second look. Hellblade remains one of the most haunting and impactful games of the last decade. Revisiting it in 2025, especially with the sequel out, gives you a deeper appreciation for how much it achieved with so little. Senua's journey is less about external enemies and more about the battle within her own mind. The binaural audio design still stands out. Voices whisper from every direction, making you feel like you're right inside her head. The Norse-inspired visuals, minimalist combat, and environmental puzzles aren't just gameplay features. They're metaphors for trauma, grief, and resilience. It's a tightly focused experience, intentionally uncomfortable at times, but never exploitative. Senua's struggle feels real and human, and it challenges players to confront discomfort in ways most games avoid. Whether you missed it the first time or are returning after Senua's saga, this is a game that demands and rewards your full attention.
End it. No. Nearly the end. He's gone.
Even after all this time, Metal Gear Solid 5 is still one of the most mechanically impressive stealth action games ever made. Its open-world sandbox design offers a ridiculous level of freedom. Whether you want to sneak in undetected, go in loud, or drop in using a weather balloon and tranquilizers, the choice is always yours. And that freedom rarely gets old. Revisiting it now, you can better appreciate the subtleties, how guards adapt to your tactics, how your actions shape the battlefield, and how base building impacts your progress. Sure, the story has its infamous cuts and pacing issues, but the way Kojima delivers mood and meaning through atmosphere is still masterful. Quiet, Skullface, and the voiceless Big Boss all add to the sense of controlled chaos. It's one of those games where systems interact in unexpected ways, making every mission feel unique. A revisit feels less like repetition, more like experimentation.
been updated.
Shadow of Mordor was a surprise hit when it first launched, and it still holds up in 2025 thanks to its satisfying combat and the brilliant Nemesis system. Playing it again, you're reminded how groundbreaking that system was. Orcs remember you, taunt you, grow stronger, and form personal vendettas that add genuine tension to the gameplay. The combat is slick and weighty, clearly inspired by the Arkham series, but with a more brutal, magical twist. Talion's story, paired with Celebrimbor's ghostly presence, creates an unusual yet effective dynamic. While the environments aren't as varied as newer games, the core loop of hunting, dominating, and manipulating your enemies remains addictive. It's easy to lose hours getting caught up in rivalries with specific orc captains. With no other game quite capturing the same magic, returning to Shadow of Mordor now feels like visiting a one-of-a-kind system that still hasn't been matched.
Voi legar seu cadáver ao meu mestre. Esse Dark é meu.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is less a game and more a fully realized world you can disappear into. Revisiting it in 2025 isn't just a trip down memory lane. It's an opportunity to re-immerse yourself in one of the most atmospheric, richly detailed open worlds ever created. Arthur Morgan's story hits even harder the second time around, especially when you already know his arc and can catch all the quiet foreshadowing in the early chapters. The camp moments, sitting around a fire, listening to someone sing, or sharing stories, are some of the most human in all of gaming. Even the hunting, fishing, and side missions feel purposeful and interconnected. Technically and emotionally, it's a masterpiece. The slower pace won't be for everyone, but if you're willing to lean into it, there's no better place to revisit than the fading days of the Wild West. It's Rockstar at its most mature and most ambitious. Resident Evil 7 took the franchise in a bold new direction. First person, slower paced, more psychological than action-packed. Revisiting it in 2025, especially after Village and the recent remakes, you can see just how important and effective that pivot was. The Baker family is still terrifying, and the Louisiana setting oozes with atmosphere. Every creaky floorboard, every flickering light adds to the tension. What makes the game so effective is its restraint. It doesn't rush you, instead allowing fear to build naturally. Ethan's vulnerability, especially early on, heightens every encounter. While it moves into more action-heavy territory later, the game never loses its core identity. It feels personal, contained, and horrifying in a very grounded way. And in VR, it's an entirely different beast. Even if you've played it before, going back in 2025 with fresh eyes and modern expectations makes it feel just as disturbing as it did the first time.
Mia?
Oh, thank God I found you. It's me. It's Ethan.
Rise of the Tomb Raider might be the most balanced entry in Lara Croft's modern trilogy. It nails the adventure tone, mixing combat, exploration, and environmental puzzles seamlessly. The Siberian wilderness is a standout setting, filled with hidden tombs, relics, and forgotten secrets that make you want to explore every corner. Revisiting it now, you can see how the game embraced its classic roots while refining modern mechanics. The tombs are more intricate than in the 2013 reboot, and the storytelling, while not as heavy-handed, delivers emotional moments that stick. Lara's transformation into a more confident, capable explorer feels earned here. There's a purity to the design, it's not bloated but still packed with things to do. If you missed some of the hidden challenges or wanted to try different approaches to combat, there's plenty of reason to come back. It's a game that rewards curiosity and persistence.
Let's go!
Days Gone may not have had the cleanest launch, but it's aged surprisingly well. Returning in 2025, it feels like one of the most underrated open-world games of its era. The Pacific Northwest is beautifully rendered, full of danger and natural beauty, and riding Deacon's motorcycle across abandoned highways never stops feeling engaging. The emotional journey, especially his connection with Sarah and Boozer, offers a more grounded, character-driven story than most zombie titles. What really stands out on a second playthrough is how methodical the world feels. Freaker hordes aren't just gimmicks, they're threats you have to plan around. The survival mechanics are subtle but rewarding, and the day-night cycle genuinely affects gameplay. Days Gone isn't perfect, but it has heart, tension, and a surprisingly large amount of depth. It's the kind of game that quietly earns your respect the more time you spend with it.
Hey, Boozer, we gotta jump! Hey, Booze Man, time to go! We got one shot at this, brother!
Damn it, Boozer.
Go. Get your old lady.
No matter how many new games come out each year, some titles just never lose their impact. Whether it's their storytelling, atmosphere, or gameplay, these 15 single-player experiences continue to stand tall, even in 2025. Replaying them isn't just about nostalgia, it's about appreciating the craftsmanship, the emotions, and the moments that made them unforgettable in the first place. So if you're looking to dive back into something meaningful, or finally experience what you missed the first time around, any of these games will more than deliver. Let us know in the comments which one you'll be revisiting, or which you think deserves a spot on this list. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.